Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Breaking Bad. Last time on Breaking Bad, we had the finale of Season 2 ABQ, where a couple of things happened, a couple of crazy things right at the end. But yeah, they dealt with Jane, the death of Jane, and had to clean up, get rid of anything that could incriminate Jesse, and then Jesse kind of spiraled out until Walt found him and sent him to rehab. Let's see, what else? Walt had his surgery, which apparently went pretty well, and then after the surgery, before the surgery, he accidentally let slip that he had two phones, and Skyler did some investigating and, pretty much found out a lot of his lies. Not quite everything, but found out he's been lying about a lot of stuff and kicked him out. And, then at the end, we were intermittently cutting back to Donald, and the last time we saw him was at his job as air traffic controlman, and he was kind of losing it, and because of that, two planes actually collided in air, and as they collided, they exploded, and the doll fell right into Walt's pool, and that is the not crime scene, but the scene that we had been seeing throughout the entirety of Season 2. Not the entirety, but since the first episode. So, yeah, it was a pretty crazy finale, actually. Really, really great. I really enjoyed it, and I'm very, very curious as to where we're going next. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say, because this is the first episode of the season, I'm doing something really good for you. It's what I do with every premiere episode of a season. I am going to make the full unedited reaction of this video available for free. So yeah, it'll be completely unedited, and you can just watch it. It's the same length as the episode. What you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment. That will take you over to my Patreon page, where it will have the full free unedited reaction. Even though you are going to Patreon, it's not going to charge you anything for that reaction, don't you worry. So you can try it out. There's no show footage in there, because if I put in show footage, then I'm just giving you the episode, and that's highly illegal. So I can't do that, but it's just me reacting, no show footage. You're going to have to sync up your own copy of this episode of Breaking Bad. I've tried to make it as easy as possible to sync up, so you can do that. Try it out if you like it, and if you think to yourself, you know what, I kind of like this full-length thing, then what you can do, if you want, it's entirely up to you, is you can actually sign up for all of my full-length reactions right there on my Patreon page, which you're already at, and that only costs $5 a month to get everything, not just Breaking Bad, but Sherlock, Doctor Who, My Hero Academia, everything full-length, just $5, but, yeah. But if you try it out, and you don't want to for whatever reason, then you don't have to, so yeah. But you can go do that if you don't want to do that. If you're like, I don't want to do this full-length thing, that's completely fine too. I'm waving my hand around, just realized, so just wait a few seconds. The edited reaction is going to start right here on the YouTube video. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the Season 3 premiere of Breaking Bad. Here we go. Do we get a new scene? So, no one's gonna stop and do anything with this guy? Dude, there's two guys that are crawling. No, now there's, 6? Why is everyone crawling? Why is everybody crawling? It's a drawing of Heisenberg, isn't it? Yep. I have several questions.
Described witnessing an explosion overhead, followed by falling debris.
Visible now crash investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board
are these like
expected
legit
on site as early as this
newscasters from
officials warn that with a debris
Albuquerque?
field of this magnitude, traffic
now
control.
have the bombshell confirmation out of Oklahoma City today.
Oklahoma
as
City.
The FAA confirmed it was indeed a lone air traffic controller's fateful mistake.
He's Donald Margolis, a 19-year veteran of the FAA's Air Route Traffic Control Center.
Oh, that's
Only
unfortunate.
Margolis, and are wondering how much blame truly lies with those who let this grieving father.
Damn. That sucks, man, that it's even all over the news. Oh shit, he's looking at fire again. It's like episode 1. Whoa, what are you doing? Oh shit, he's lighting the whole thing. Oh. There's Saul. Dude, what are you doing? You got a pool?
I really just need this quick and easy. You know, as quick as something like this can be.
Divorce.
Okay.
What do you got in there? Cinder blocks?
$500,000 in cash.
Tuh. Listen. Yeah, of course.
That's the spirit.
Hey, Jesse. He's planting shit.
Who's here for self-improvement?
I don't think I've ever planted shit.
Can you just give me a ride to school?
Take you to school.
Yeah, no. I'm ready now.
When? I'm taking you to school.
Alright, I'm here. See you soon.
Damn. She's right there, too. That was a 1-2 slap, man. Damn.
Because of all the horrors, you know, we perceived.
Jesus, look at that gem.
It just really gets inside your brain. And
Sorry. Distracted
in
by the
college,
gem.
they have this thing where if your roommate kills himself, basically an automatic A for you. And I just
Dude.
think that kind of compassion is something to...
Yeah.
I just keep asking myself, why did this happen?
We're smarter than this.
I mean, if there's a God and all, why does he
Sorry.
allow all those innocent people?
Mr. White, would you like to say something?
No.
By the way, welcome back. It's so good to have you back.
Well, at least someone's happy. Don't force this on him. Come on. I'm gonna go into nervous mode. My hair always looks dumb when I do this.
Look on the bright side.
Is there?
So, plus, neither plane was full. You know, the 737 was...
Why did you force him to talk?
Maybe 2/3. Actually, tied for 50th. There are, in truth...
Okay, you cut the other guy off already.
53 crashes throughout history
Stop!
that are just as bad or worse than everything. Has anybody...
I'm over it now.
No?
I'm over it because this is ridiculous.
A 747 is, I mean, it's way bigger than a 737, and we're talking about...
Cut him off!
600 people. Okay. Good.
Alrighty. Back here. Thank God. Drugs and assassins, give it to me. Which is what I assume is out here. Yeah, they're getting normal clothes, not these freaking suits. Are these guys just hitmen? Like, they look like Agent 47. Oh, give her the keys. Oh, well, that's nice.
Hey, Lynn! How's tricks?
What?
Tricks. It's an expression.
What? Marie, you get weirder
Why
with
you
every
gotta treat him
episode.
like this? Why you gotta be like this? Why can't you just talk even?
Hey,
Well,
The poor kid, he's probably just dying of curiosity, you know, and I guess it would be natural for him to
Marie, you're dying of
wonder.
curiosity.
I mean, he's probably
Without prying, that would be really
prying. Okay,
Great.
well,
Yeah.
prying's a strong word,
So-
but I
helpful.
Fucking, I love Marie.
Did you ever really hurt someone?
I killed my daughter.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
She's my 6-year-old daughter. She's playing at the end of the driveway.
Oh, shit.
How do you not hate yourself?
I did hate myself for a long time. But it didn't stop me from drinking and getting high. It just made it that much worse. It just stands in the way.
Stands in the way of what?
True change.
Damn. You gotta think if that guy can make it, Jesse can too.
Skylar.
Hi.
Is this a good time to talk?
Oh, he has a new pool.
Yeah, come in, please.
221. 221 B Baker Street. Oh my gosh. Has to be a reference for some reason. Okay, go on. Serve the papers.
There's your side and there's my side, and you haven't heard my side yet. You haven't heard any of it at all.
Yeah.
You're a drug dealer.
I just got a pit in my stomach.
No, what? How?
Oh, God damn it, man.
What?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Huh? How?
How else could you possibly make that kind of money? Marijuana. That Pinkman kid.
Huh. It's meth, actually.
Cocaine?
Shit. Is he gonna do it?
Methamphetamine.
Oh, shit. He just confessed.
I'm a manufacturer. I'm not a dealer.
Oh,
Not anymore.
I won't tell Hank. And I won't tell your children. Or anybody else. Nobody will hear it from me. But only if you grant me this divorce and stay out of our lives.
No, Skylar.
I mean it. Now let me the hell out of here before I throw up.
Holy shit. Jeez, man.
Some sort of collision radar on the jet that may not have been working properly. Now, that's public record. You can look that up. And the whole system is run on 1960s technology.
Walt.
Not really.
You either run from things or you face them, Mr. White.
Huh.
What exactly does that mean?
I learned it in rehab.
Walt is a runner.
It's all about accepting who you really are. I accept who I am.
And who are you?
I'm the bad guy.
Oh. No.
I owe you the courtesy and respect to tell you this personally. I'm done. It has
Here we go
nothing
again.
to do with you personally. This is not me.
Are you sure, man?
I'd like you to hear my offer. $3 million for 3 months of your time. 3 months,
Damn.
then out.
Then out.
The answer is still no.
Enjoy your meal.
Well, he's gonna go back and do it, obviously.
¿Qué tiene la punta? ¿Poco de plata?
Does he recognize it? No, he's still alive. Dude, I would have just stayed dead. Like, if you stay down, they might not notice you. Alright. Well, that happened. That happened. Alright, alrighty. That... Whew. That was a hell of a season premiere, actually. And more than the season 2 premiere, because the season 2 premiere, I mean, that was all about Tuco. Yeah, and that was alright, but... Ugh! Everything's going down now. Skylar knows. I wasn't expecting that, especially after the ending of last episode. But she figured it out. She figured it out. It must have been during the meeting with the divorce attorney that she figured it out, you know? She figured out that, you know, there's only one way that Walt could make that much money to cover his hospital bills, you know? I need to sit like this, actually. See, if I sit like this, I look like 200 pounds more than I am. If I sit like this, it's better. I've still got my freaking... I want to say beefcake arms, but they're more just cake arms. So, but at least I look better when I do that. Sort of tighten it in a little bit. Anyway. So yes, that must have been when she figured it out. And then, you know, because she's pretty smart, you know, with everything that she connected, you know, at the end of last episode with all of Walt's lies, it makes sense that she would figure it out. So, and Walt, he legitimately came clean on it too. You know, when she was going through, like, all the things, and he finally just said, it's methamphetamines, actually. Which is pretty crazy. It's so... It was really great, too, when Jesse was talking about, you know, the kinds of, you know... I don't know, it was like the kinds of people... I don't remember the exact wording. But it was like, you know, there's two people. There's people that face their problems and people that run from their problems. And wow, that defines the two of them. Now I feel like Jesse is facing his issues head on, whereas Walt is definitely running from them. So that was pretty interesting. Man, and this is just the beginning of season 3. There's 5 seasons in total, and shit has completely hit the fan for Walter White. And, you know, they're still doing the whole, you know, oh, Walt's out. He's really out this time. Yeah, right. I don't think Gus is going to appreciate once he finally does, because we all fucking know Walt's going to go back in. I don't know. It might be one of those things, you know, because I mean, Gus wasn't, like, mad or anything, you know? So, like, he didn't do anything. He didn't even say, like, you know, don't ever show your face in here again. But it could be one of these things like maybe Gus like doesn't believe him. It's like, yeah, all right, you go take care of your things, and then and when you realize that you can't take care of your things and your marriage has completely fallen apart, you come back and we'll do the deal, you know? Although he might not give as much money, so hold up. Cycling around my drinks. I just finished my Pepsi, so I'm cycling back to my water. This water was all the way full. This is how much I drank after Sherlock. So I've got a little bit left. Hopefully that will get me through this discussion. Anywho. So, man, things have changed so much, haven't they? It's like they've changed that they've not changed. Maybe that's just because they've introduced just one new set. There's one new set in this episode, really. And, you know, other than some of the sets with the two guys and stuff like that. But there's one new set, and that's Walt's apartment, which he is sharing with Jesse Pinkman. And I guess it's that's the reason why it's like, oh man, this is so new. We're doing new stuff. It's like, it's one new set, but for some reason I really like it. I mean, it's good that we're actually like, that we are changing sets. I don't know why. This is stupid. Anyway. But let's go ahead and hop right into the notes here. The first thing I wrote down is crawling. That was an interesting opening, to say the least. Yeah, so we just had a bunch of these guys crawling through a town, and then these two well-dressed men get out of their car, they start crawling, and then they go to this place, and they post a drawing of Heisenberg. So I can only assume that they're going to kill Heisenberg. Maybe because of Tuco? Maybe the blue meth is competition, you know, and they want to take him out. They know that he's the one that cooks it, so if you take him out, then you're good. So it could be that. I don't know. You know, we cut back to them 3 times. We started off in the intro, and then we did it again after the high school scene, Jesus Christ, where we saw them take the clothes and then give the car to that family because they weren't going to need it anymore. And then the final scene, which was, you know, them killing everyone in that transport. So, and none of those times did they ever speak. We don't know who they are, but we do know that they're out for Heisenberg. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be quite like the plane crash scene from season 2, where it's like, oh, this is going to be in the finale. You know, it's like, no, I feel like we'd have to get to that a little bit sooner, but I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be a little while before they catch up with Walt. So, yeah. I wrote down 1 week. It's been 1 week. Yeah, it's been a week since the plane crash, and because of everything that was happening with the crash, Skylar gave Walt more time, basically, to move out, which is good. You know, yeah, they were right there underneath the crash. Oh, man. Which, when they were showing, like, the news and everything about that, you know, you feel so bad that they're, you know, putting Donald right there in the spotlight, and they're talking about Jane and stuff. Now, they are saying, like, okay, well, you know, it's someone's fault that they let him, you know, go back to work. But, I mean, that's just so horrible that they would put him in the spotlight like that. Because now it looked like, which, first off, we're done. Maybe I shouldn't do. We're done with Donald, right? Like, look, I love John Delancey as much as the next guy. But I don't like seeing sad John Delancey. I like seeing fun John Delancey, you know? In Torchwood or in Star Trek, you know? I love fun John Delancey. This is not fun John Delancey. You know, this is sad John Delancey. And it's a great performance, I have to say, but we're done with Donald, right? So, the fact that they put him in the news, that's so horrible. And it did sort of look like, okay, maybe there was that one shot where he was sort of walking out of, it looked like a courthouse, so there could be a hearing about this, but man, for him to have to go through that's so horrible, you know? Like, that's the thing, like, if they wanted to talk about this, I guess that's one thing. Putting him in the spotlight like that, you know, being like, you know, this is the guy. It's like, don't do that to this grieving man, you know, who now is probably grieving even harder because he probably views this as his fault. So, yeah, I mean, that's just so sad. So fucking sad, you know? The next thing I wrote down is the divorce. Skylar has gone to an attorney, and at the end, she did serve up the divorce papers to Walt. Okay, you can kind of understand... Oh my gosh, or am I really going to say... Like, I guess you can understand both sides to it, where Skylar is like, I'm fucking getting rid of this guy once and for fucking all. Whereas Walt is thinking, Jesus Christ, we're really moving fast on this. I understand kicking him out right now. Totally justifiable. There is a part of me that slightly, very slightly sides with Walt in that this is very fast. Like, very fast. The fact that no one knew she was doing this. No one. No one knew that she was doing this. I don't think anyone even does know. Like, I don't think... Obviously, Flynn doesn't. I don't think Hank does. I don't even think Marie does. You know, after that scene with her, I don't even think Marie does. I think the only person that knows, you know, Skylar and Walt. I think they're the only people that know about this now. And Walt only because he got served the divorce papers, you know? So, do I slightly agree with Walt that this is moving a little fast? Yes. On the other hand, you totally understand why Skylar would do this, you know? Because, yeah, this is not, well, you know, this is one thing that just happened. It's like, this is everything that has built up over the past season. All of the lies, the fugue state, Gretchen and Elliot, his mother, all of that has been festering over this time, and for her to all figure it out at the end. To her, technically, it's not moving too fast. She has every justifiable thing, and it's multiple things. From the fugue state, to Gretchen and Elliot, to his mother. Everything that has been happening over the past few months, you know, over the course of season 2. So, when she figures it all out, it does make sense with how quickly she went to a divorce attorney. However, she's not talking this over with Walt, doesn't talk this over with Walt, doesn't talk this over with at least Marie. You probably don't need to go to Hank. And maybe it's not... I don't know. I guess you should somewhat talk it over with Flynn, but on the other hand, I don't know. You got to talk it over with someone, and that's the thing, is that she didn't talk it over with anyone, which I think is the problem. I think if this was like 3 episodes later, she had talked it over with Marie, and I know Marie may not be the best judge about this, but talked it over with Marie, or Hank, or Walt himself, you know, talked it over with Walt too, then I think it would be like, okay, she's completely in the right. But the fact that she didn't talk this over with literally anyone, she didn't talk it over with anyone, and then she goes to the divorce attorney, gets that, and without anyone knowing, goes and serves divorce papers to Walt. I will say I understand that it's a little fast, it's a little sudden, and I don't know, it's a little too fast. She needs to talk it over with anyone, whether it be Walt or Marie or Hank, someone. She needs to talk this over with someone, then go to the divorce attorney. Going this fast without telling anyone, you do slightly, and I mean very, very slightly, understand Walt's side of that. Because, let's be honest, she is completely justified in what she's doing. It's just that she's completely justified in what she's doing. It's just that it's a little too fast, I feel like. Like, if this was 2 episodes later, fine. And talk it over. The fact that she is not talking it over with anyone, not even Walt. And, you could even say, like, okay, well, should she have to talk it over, once she figures out that Walt is a drug dealer and stuff, and it's like, okay, I understand it, and that's the thing. That is the trickiest thing about this, is that, yes, is she justified in filing for a divorce? 100%, yes, I agree with that. Should she talk it over with one person? Yes, I think she needs to at least talk about this. Let Marie know, Let Marie know. Your sister. Let your sister know about this. Tell someone before you serve those papers to Walt, who also didn't see it coming. So, I get it. I really do. It's 100% justified, especially with everything that built over last season. But it's just slightly too fast, I will say. Play devil's advocate. I gotta play both sides, whatever. You look at both sides, yes, it is just the slightest bit too fast. I will admit that. Alright. Oh, God. I wrote down grieving. That scene in the high school with that assembly. I mean, Jesus, man. First off, seeing a high school gym again was a little... I mean, that took me back for a sec, I will say. I haven't been in a gymnasium in a few years. It's been a while. I mean, I guess... Was it 2016? In either 2016, maybe 2017? Either 2016 or 2017 in the spring. I was in the teacher education program. I was studying to become a teacher, a history teacher specifically. And later I dropped that and just went on to get a history degree, which I have now. Not the point. The point is, I had to do some observations at a high school, and I guess there was one day where I had to attend an assembly because there was just an assembly while I was there. So I went and I watched it, and it was as bad as assemblies were. I actually didn't go in. This is so off topic. I actually didn't go in. I stood outside the gym and just listened, but still, I was like, oh my God, I'm so, I didn't want to go in. I just wanted to stand outside, and I did, and I enjoyed it. And then, but other than that, the last time I was in a high school gym would have been in high school, and I graduated in spring of 2015, so it was 5 years ago now. 5 years ago, I guess I looked exactly the same. Well, just 5 years younger, obviously. And I actually had different glasses. I got these glasses when I started college. Here's some stuff you're learning about me today. But yeah, so just watching that scene. Oh, one of my lights came on for a sec. That was weird. The entire room started to glow. So just seeing that scene, first of all, that took me back, man. That took me back to high school when I would have to go to those assemblies, and God, they were dumb. I hated them. The only good thing about assemblies was sitting with your friends and making fun of assemblies. God, that was fun, I have to say. You know how often I made fun of assemblies with my friends? Ugh. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that was kind of good about assemblies. That and some classes were shorter, which if you didn't like one of your classes, hey, it's shorter that day. Anyway, so that took me back, first of all. Second of all, that is a crazy moment, when, they're grieving, because this is a pretty big tragedy that happened, and then, first off, okay, so that guy that was talking about, in colleges, if your roommate kills themselves, then you get an A, and I just think that we should, and they just cut him off, all right, thanks, all right, okay, you cut that guy off, cut off Walt. What? First of all, man didn't want to talk. The man just did not want to talk on that microphone. You forced him to. And then when he starts talking all this garbage, you don't cut him off soon enough. Come on. And that entire scene, you saw me. I was cringing out, man. That was so horrible to watch. That at a point, I actually, it was so weird, and I'm sure I left this in the reaction. At one point, I was cringing and stuff, and then I just, gave up, and I just came back. At a point, it's so ridiculous that you can't even cringe, at which point it becomes funny. It was actually, really weird. If you watch, there is a table, there is a timeline of, cringe, and then it just gets to a point where it's you know what? This is so ridiculous and cringy that now it's, circled around the planet and become funny. It's so weird. It's done a complete circle around and actually become funny with how ridiculous it is that this man is still talking about the positive side of a plane crash. And that was so weird. That was such a weird scene, actually, that it did a complete circle around the earth until it actually became funny that this man just keeps talking about the bright side. And you just, keep seeing their faces, these disgusted, sorrowful faces, and he's just talking about it, and it's why? How did this become funny? It's so dumb. So, yeah, that happened. I have spat all over my notebook. Ugh. I hope that doesn't catch on camera. Jeez. Okay, I wrote down Flynn, which it is actually it's a little difficult for me to call him just Flynn. I don't know why, but it is actually getting a little hard. I just want to say Walt Jr. or something, but no, Flynn. Or call him by his name, the name that he chose, So I wrote down Flynn. Again, this sort of plays into, Skylar not saying anything to anyone. She is not talking to him about this stuff. Not talking to him about why his father, who he proclaimed as his hero, is not there anymore, And Walt isn't saying anything either, and that's probably for the best, Probably for the best. He's probably going to, he's letting Skylar explain it on her own time, but she's not explaining anything, and that is a problem. I wrote down rehab. So Jesse, I feel like Jesse has gotten, he's gotten better worse, where it's he says oh yeah, I'm clean, I'm not gonna do that again, but he did admit to being the bad guy, and he's taking the plane crash, incredibly hard, probably the same way that the rehab guy, therapist or whoever, that guy took, the death of his daughter. Which that was a powerful scene when he came clean. Well, not came clean, but he talked about why because Jesse kind of has a good point. It's like, well, why are you the expert and stuff? And he explains it, and it's like, oh shit, all right, maybe you do know what's best, And I think that really resonated with all of them. So yeah, and Jesse did learn. He said like, hey, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's people that face their problems and people that run from it. And Jesse is ready to face his problems. Walt is ready to run from fuck everything. So yeah, this is definitely a change in Jesse, and we'll have to see how that affects him moving forward. I wrote down confession. So, first off, Skylar actually figured out that Walt is a drug dealer, and it was like, oh, marijuana? Cocaine? What is it? And then he says, it's methamphetamine. So, she knows that he's doing this. She knows that he's doing this. It's out there. 2 seasons of secrecy is over. She knows. And that is really crazy that it just happened. Because he was even denying it at first. And then until eventually he was like, it's methamphetamines, actually. So that is pretty crazy that he actually confessed to her about what he's doing. That is so crazy that that's happened now. And she says, look, I won't tell Hank. I won't tell your children. I won't tell anyone. But you need to sign these divorce papers and leave us alone. Like, oh shit. She is fucking cutting him out of their lives, which on the one hand, again, she is totally fucking justified with that. And especially after learning that he's a drug dealer. Do I think she needs to talk to someone? Just talk. Tell Marie some of this stuff. Maybe not the drug dealer part, but tell Marie something. But nope. I think she's going to keep it a secret. Because, how do you talk about it without saying that he's a drug dealer? So she is willing to keep his secret so long as he stays out of their lives, and that requires the divorce papers. And Jesus Christ, that is horrible. And he's saying like, oh well, we're just at a crossroads, or things will get better. And it's like, no, they fucking won't. I wrote down the apartment. I do like that Walt immediately takes Jesse in. That's pretty cool. And I'm getting the feeling that's where the two of them are going to be staying for a while. And then the last thing I wrote down is $3 million. What was it? $3 million for 3 months of work. Is basically what they said.
I have money. I have more money than I know how to spend. What I don't have is my family.
For 3 months of your time.
$3 million for 3 months of your time. And honestly, he could probably do that and walk, $3 million. All right, split that up as $150 for him and Jesse. 1.5 mil. Take out a little bit for, Saul's cut. But there you go. That's pretty fucking good. On top of the $480,000 that the two of them had. And the two of them are kind of set. So while he is sort of, he's saying, it's like, no, this is not me. I can't do this. I think Gus knows this too. I think he's definitely going to come back. Obviously, we have an entire 3rd season, 4th season, and 5th season. We kind of know he's going to come back. But I think Gus knows he's going to come back too. I don't think Gus is omnipotent and knows he's in a show or something like that, and he knows what will happen in the plot. But I think even he knows that Walt is going to come back at some point. So, yeah. But how long will it take before Walt eventually comes around? I have no idea, but we are kind of set up for a bonkers season, actually. Well, maybe not. Maybe bonkers is not quite the right word, but we're in for a hell of a season, definitely, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get to it. So yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Breaking Bad reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.